Folks, there is no evidence that we are overprinting Magic the Gathering cards. Quote unquote, CEO of Wizards of the Coast, Hasbro conference call. All right, so I woke up this morning, had Taco Bell for breakfast, and looked at my phone, and there had to be 400 messages about this absolute insanity of a landfill, actual dumpster fire, pictures of pallets in a landfill of Magic the Gathering sealed product. There's a lot to unwrap in this conversation. We're going to keep the memes and all the jokes and all the inside stuff and all the giggities aside, and I'm going to break down all these different ideas and give you all my opinion. The conclusion, for those of you who just want a thumbs down and run away, MetaZoo, there's no real clear... There's some conflicting things on this that really make it suspicious, but let's go through it. So first of all, these pictures surfaced on Reddit, and a bunch of people started spreading it everywhere. Okay, and then eventually these pictures got transferred over to Magic Conversations because people recognized the shape and the stop tape and the pallets of Magic the Gathering, Wizards of the Coast. And apparently this is a landfill in Texas. So apparently there's pictures all over the internet now of, it looks like about 2 pictures of, well, a landfill with about, looks like maybe 4 to 6 to 8 pallets, depending how they're stacked, but there's pallets, but then some of the items are thrown off the pallet, so I don't know, around 4 to 6 pallets, maybe up 4 to 8 pallets of Magic product. Apparently this is in Texas, from where the guy who works in the landfill posted the pictures. Now, if you don't know this or not, the main distribution hub for the United States is Wizards of the Coast, Texas warehouse distribution hub. So essentially, when they print things in Japan or Belgium or pretty much different Cardamundi factories around the world, most of it, if it's going to be moved into the United States and sold into the United States, it ends up in a hub in Texas. I don't want to go into details on the exact address or city, but I assure you, there is a loading dock type gray building with a couple loading docks with a door off to the side that says Wizards of the Coast. I assure you it's real. I've seen it. It's there. Now, I do not work for Wizards of the Coast. I'm a cat. So now we look at the pictures. First things first, we zoom into the pictures, do some little sleuthing. It looks like these cube-shaped cases of Magic product in the landfill do have stop tape, and based on some of the pallets still being fully intact with white corner protectors and machine wrap, and that's not hand done, machine wrapping, where you put the pallet on a machine, the machine spins and it wraps the pallet. And you can even see a yellow, looks like a trucking logistics or maybe a Cardamundi slip tied to the top of one of them. Now I can also tell you right now, LGS type booster box, collector box, set box type products do not have yellow sheets from Cardamundi in the last few years. I haven't seen that in a long time. So that tells me that this is either going to be a big box retail style different type of product, or B, that's paperwork from a trucking company, but it looks like it's under the wrapping, which would make it not from a trucking company. So that's a little confusing on that one particular pallet on the right side of the photo. Next, based on, looks like 5 cases wide by about 5 cases on width, so that's about 25 cubes per row. 25 cubes per row does not fit the rectangular case for standard draft boxes. It does not fit the smaller, longer cases for set boxes. In 2020, 2021, we had set boxes like Zendikar, even Modern Horizons 2, which we'll get to, and Call Time, which had set cases, which were a larger, different shape. Now, based on that, looking at the 5x5 layout of the pallet, it cannot be a set box of Modern Horizon, Zendikar, Call Time, or anything from the last few years, because you cannot fit 25 cases per row on a pallet. That's not the correct size. That's too many. It would be about half that. So that does not quite, once again, it's not set boxes, okay? Old set boxes with the fatter packaging or new set boxes. Next, people are saying, well, what about collector boxes, Rudy? These are not collector boxes. Collector boxes are the largest, heaviest type of packaging, and based on the dimensions and kind of what you can see on the packaging, it is definitely not collector boxes. Therefore, this leads me to believe it's either a supplemental product or a big box retail product. Now, we're going to get into whether or not this is staged or not in a second, and we're going to get into some other weird anomalies here. So the next thing here, like I said, it does remain a fact that these are actual Wizards Magic the Gathering cards that are sealed multiple pallets, and they are in a landfill. That is the only thing that I know is real about this. Those are real. And there's no way someone's going to empty a pallet, professionally seal it, wrap it, get it back on the pallet, and based on the way some of them are angled, you can tell there is weight on the pallet because of the way it's wedged. If they were empty cases, it wouldn't be able to, the weight of it wouldn't be able to kind of angle up certain, some of the background pallets. Anyways, so in my opinion, this is some sort of either commander, supplementary, a blister type thing, kind of a starter deck series. So there's some sort of, these are not standardized LGS products in this landfill. Now, it also turns out that the individual post of this also claims to have taken more pictures showing that he held blister packs or 3 booster pack little multi-pack for retail, Walmart, Target, OnlyFans, Barnes & Noble type of stores. It looks like 3-pack little triple things. They sell them. I think it was like in Modern Horizons 2, they'd sell them for maybe like $40 or something for a 3-pack. It looks like they are specialized cubes, which has individual 3-packs of Modern Horizons 2 that the individual claims that he grabbed a case and opened something. Now, in the picture he opened and posted online, there is a couple interesting things that stands out to me. First, he put one picture showing the Modern Horizons 2 draft booster pack, and next to it he opened a pack of the cards. And the only card you can see is a common card on top, with, of course, potato cam quality, overly bright lighting, blah, blah, blah. But what stood out to me is that did look like a common card that he showed in the photo of incorrect contrast color ratios. It looks light and bleached out. And that was a real problem in 2021 during the Modern Horizons 2 era around that product release. There was a lot of complaints that some of the print run batches did not have the proper saturation of blacks and whites and colors when they printed them at Card of Moon Day. So I don't know if this was a defective batch of cards that had to be thrown to the landfill. Now, historically, companies never ever just take full pallets and send them off. It doesn't work that way. So that's where this thing gets weird. Historically, if a company's going to destroy product, if Hasbro's going to get rid of Magic product, they are not just going to tell, Rudy's Towing and Ex-Girlfriend Services to pull up, take 10 pallets and say, oh, I trust you'll dispose of this for us, right? I got you. I got you. It doesn't work that way. Seriously. Like, they hire companies like Iron Mountain. I am a shareholder. They hire these professional, high-security disposal who have maybe, sensitive information. When I used to work at a brokerage firm, we would have other companies come up. We would have special bins for client documents, statements, trade confirmations of people's sensitive information, and we would place them in certain garbage bins, and these would be taken by a company that would pull up into this industrial destruction machine that made like fine confetti. Not like just a shredder. It was like fine powder confetti almost. And that's what these companies would do. So already, that's very suspicious. Okay? So, in my opinion, there's a small chance that this was a defective print run. Now, number 2, this is also the time that in 2021 that they were moving some products out of big box stores, especially premium priced items. Double Masters 2020, the new premium collector things, and they redid the packaging because there was a lot of theft in big box stores. So that is also another possibility here that this product was recalled from the big box era because either Walmart and the big stores didn't want to deal with it. They were losing too much money. Remember, they operate through MJ Holdings and Excel Marketing, and these companies only get paid, no matter not how much Magic product they throw in Walmart, they only get paid by what gets scanned at checkout. So if it doesn't get scanned at checkout and it's stolen by Timmy's and things happen, then they don't get paid and losses start incurring and backing up the whole food chain, blah, blah, blah. So there's a chance that this was recalled product. So A, this could be defective product. B, this could be recalled product. C, this whole thing could be staged. Or D, simply put, the most basic answer of all is Hasbro overprinted shit and they are quietly removing stuff. And as we've talked about, Magic 30, Rudy, I know it's coming back. Sit down, princess. As we've talked about, and I mentioned to you all in the last 3 months, since Q3, Q4 of 2022, we have not seen further Amazon fire sales and Amazon dumps. It, like, miraculously, Cynthia started giving the green light. They were playing a little red light, green, everybody was running, and all of a sudden they were just dumping this product. Distributors literally were pissed, contacting WotC, there were not kind messages like, what are you doing? A lot of things were shaken up. And since then, we have not seen it repeat. Like we've all been waiting. Everybody thought Black Friday a couple months ago of 2022, right during the Magic 30 thing, we all expected. Dude, the amount of patrons and messages and people and you all in comments that were like, Rudy, I love you, bro, but I'm waiting for the Amazon dump. And it didn't really happen. We've got a few Amazon sales, but just normal things, not what we saw originally. You know, insane $70 collector boxes. We haven't seen that again. So, let's go to something else here, folks. Is the picture staged, or is this an intentional look over there, don't look over here? Is this something corporate staged intentional thing? You can't rule that out, okay? You have to understand. There are some things in this world when it comes to Magic cards and Hasbro and WotC and all this that never get leaked or discussed. And other things always get leaked. Some guy always takes a picture on a phone from 1980. It's got a big thing. Literally, they take picture, they literally, and it's fuzzy. You can't make it out, and it gets leaked on the internet. Always happens. Always happens in Magic, right? And then other things never get leaked, right? And when I look at this picture, and I look at how waterlogged, decomposed, and rough everything in the picture is, and we have these 4 to 8 pallets of Magic the Gathering just sitting on top of this wrecked, soggy, stained, nasty landfill. And I'm looking at that, and I'm like, did the truck come by? And did somebody take a caterpillar, lift it, and just swing a pallet out there? And that's the only thing they dropped off in that whole area? And this guy just happened to take a picture because he was told to put this one thing there? It is a little suspicious that there aren't other pallets, other items that look to be similar age in the landfill. It just looks a little out of place. That's all I'm saying. And again, I don't know, because again, do not underestimate what companies will go through for publicity. And Hasbro is in very hot water in the last 6 months. I mean, they have been all over CNBC. Analysts, you have the Alta Fox attempt to help the company and get board members. You have CNBC and Bank of America just railing them. You have all these things going on. Fireside chat. I mean, the CEO of Hasbro Wizards did a fireside chat, literally with some other financial analyst lady, and to try to help discuss what's happening with the company because there's so much turmoil. This has never happened in Hasbro history. So we have to take into consideration that these individuals may try unconventional means and methods to get some things going on. And, well, take some products that, well, are in a warehouse that Walmart doesn't want on their shelves, or MJ Holdings said, we don't want to repack those in a cube. And, well, write the whole thing as a tax loss off. So essentially, you're still getting money for them. And then just throw them out in the dumpster, get Timmy over there to do it, and have him bring it out to that field over there and snap a couple pictures just from the distance. I mean, seriously, if you walked up to the pallet and took a picture of the sticker and the barcode, let me help everybody out here. There's a barcode on every Magic the Gathering sealed product and case. That barcode, when it flows through any distributor's hands in the world, gets scanned, and they track that stuff. This can be backdated and tracked if it's something sketchy, but I'm not sure this is sketchy at all. I think this is legitimately just either, well, excess product that they are destroying. The most simplest answer is literally they overprinted and it's excess product they want off the books. Distributors aren't taking it. And because again, these are not booster boxes. These aren't collector. These are individual blister packs that are very difficult to sell. The only way blister packs and individual things sell well is when the market's in a bull market and everything else is sold out. When you run the company like you know what the hell you're doing, like Pokemon, and they sell through everything, then the market turns to blister packs because there's a demand and people just want the cards. If you cannot get to that point or navigate the ship like that, and you end up fucking Costa Concordia sideways in the ocean, well, there you are. You're in a landfill. So in my opinion, I think this is simply the highest probability is it could be staged on purpose to show the market and the world that these were deliberately being destroyed because they don't want to overprint. Wizards of the Coast stated on a corporate call with CNBC and analysts with B of A that there is no evidence of overprinting my left nut, but they specifically stated, Dr. Cox and Cynthia from Philip Morris did state that they were too aggressive on their pricing and they miscalculated things and, well, they fucked up. They did say that. And they said, a lot of people, everybody thought originally this was Magic 30. Everybody was like, dude, bro, there's Magic 30. And I was looking at it. I went on eBay, looked at pictures of cases and sealed boxes, went online. The registration and details of the packaging, the size of the packaging does not fit the specs to be Magic 30. None of the pallets. All of the pallets look to be the same shape. Doesn't mean they're all... Now, this individual claims that they had 3-pack blisters of Modern Horizons 2 draft or set or something. Now, it doesn't mean they're all the same set. In my opinion, most likely they are not the same set. I believe these are big box packages because these pallets all have the same cube shapes. Based on the shapes of the cubes, and yes, I had some weird messages this morning about, well, Rudy, here's a picture of one of the cubes. I guess Reddit was doing sleuthing or something. And somebody took a picture of the bottom of one of the boxes that had dimensions. It was like 9 by 5/8 or something. Like, Rudy, are these even English? Yes. Most cases in Magic on the bottom have the dimensions in what they call the box integrity stamp based on the strength of the cardboard, what kind of layers and blah, blah, blah from the factory. And yes, Wizards and Magic, even on the bottom of, if you look at your draft booster cases, your set booster cases, collector cases, Commander, yes, they do stamp dimensions on the bottom. And yes, they do have some fractions listed. That is very normal, whether it's printed in the USA, Belgium, Japan, or, well, anywhere. It's just, that is how they do it. Because remember, they purchase the cardboard and it goes to the factory. They don't make the cardboard where they print the cards. They purchase pallets of flattened cardboard. They have probably assembly lines and machines. It goes through, it's printed, then they goes to another area and it's packaged up. Kind of what like some of these big box companies do that just sell cardboard and industrial packing supplies. So I wanted to get that part out there. So we have, to conclude this video, at the end of the day, there's excess Magic product. It didn't sell. And I'm not leaning towards the idea that Wizards deliberately destroyed this product because it was defective. The reason for that is they're not going to wait 2 years to destroy Zendikar, Kaldheim, or Modern Horizons 2. They're not going to hold defective product for years and then dispose of it by the whole pallet by throwing it out there without destroying the product. They're not going to wait that long, and they're going to destroy the product so that when it hits to a landfill, it's going to be useless, just shredded guts of paper. So that already is weird. That makes me think that it's intentional and they wanted people to find it. Next, I mean, look, at the end of the day, if I was working for Hasbro, I'll be honest with you all, if I had overprinted everything in 2021, 2022, and I didn't cut anything back, and I had my Texas warehouse, looks like fucking Indiana Jones, shit stacked to the roof with thousands of pallets and we needed space, well, I would call up a professional high security disposal company, some sort of, Iron Mountain type company, and I'd have them come get trucks, tell them I want the pallets destroyed, I want proof of destruction with pictures, and simply put, I would destroy the Magic product. And when I destroy the product, I will then contact accounting, and again, the way they do inventory and the books and everything with, first in, first out on each set and how much revenue and all this crap, I would literally, I think the value of the tax write-off and the tax loss of destroying the product is probably more valuable at this point. And we talked about this a month ago. I said, look, is it more valuable for Wizards to fire sell at 30, 40 cents on the dollar and then get negative press and publicity about overprinting, or destroy the product, take a 30, 40% value of tax loss kind of thing of whatever the cost is on it? And I have a funny feeling it's not going to be much different than fire selling it. I think their cost of write-off on that, whatever they get per pallet, the X amount of thousands, is probably going to be very similar. And again, I'm not a licensed tax advisor. I don't know how they're going to calculate the value of how much is destroyed. That gets very gray area and very honor system. Let's just put it that way. I had some friends back in my real job days when I had haircuts in a real job. and they did forensic accounting, and they kind of dug through things and auditing and taxes and things. Let me tell you, these big companies, when they say they have 5 pallets over here, okay, you don't know if they have 10 or 1, or because essentially the labor and ability to go through an audit and count the boxes and verify what Hasbro Wizards has is going to be almost impossible. And they destroying stuff and tell you what the value of that is, whether they define as fair market value, the cost of manufacturing, but then cost to store it for 2 years. There's so many ways to wiggle these numbers. Whether what's right or wrong is irrelevant, but the point is, there's a lot of ways for them to do that. So in my opinion, with no evidence, just looking at this weird-ass situation, I think they deliberately destroyed it, and I also think they wanted people to know. That's my takeaway from this. I think it was deliberate. The way it's thrown on top of the trash mountain, perfectly far enough away, but close enough where you know it's magic. And the pictures were posted on a non-magic Reddit, knowing that eventually they'd find their way to Reddit. And there's no clarity to anything, but there's just enough information to get people wound up. And everybody knows that they claim they're not overprinting. And now their sealed product literally being destroyed. And in my opinion, to me, if I was running the company, I would do that. And I would take the tax write-off. Because again, if you're a corporation paying 40-50% tax rate, why would you fire yourself for 20-30 cents on the dollar, deal with negative publicity and proof you're overprinting? Dude, you'll make more money destroying it and writing it off on the accounting. Have a great day.